What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man of fire himself, Halfpint, once again. Today we are going into the story, the long forgotten story of Sparda. That's right, the father of Virgil and Dante, nearly 2,000 years ago, before any of the games take place. But who was Sparda? What's its significance? And when can we potentially see a Sparda game coming soon? All of that and more. But before we continue to today's video, be sure to hit subscribe down below. I know every YouTuber says it, but hey, it inflates my ego and helps me make more videos, and I enjoy what I do here. So please help me out here. Hit the like down below as it helps push videos out. I appreciate that very much, guys. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. As the wiki page states about Sparda, Sparda was a mighty demon swordsman who was known as the legendary Dark Knight. 2,000 years prior to the modern times, he woke up to justice and defeated Mundus and his legions alone. When sealing the netherworld, sensing his power had grown too strong, he intentionally sealed himself and his demonic power in as well. Sparda would continue to influence the human world with his presence, such as when he reigned as feudal lord of Fortuna, and before his disappearance married Eva, who gave birth to his twin sons Dante and Virgil. So it's sad to say that we definitely won't be seeing Eva, as Eva was a human 2,000 years ago. It's amazing that the original house that Eva and Sparda were inside of is even still standing, because you can see from the cutscene inside Devil May Cry 5 when Dante was a kid being pushed in the closet by Eva when Eva was trying to save Dante from the forces of hell invading after they were looking for Sparda himself. And poor Virgil was left alone, unintentionally, but was left alone. That being said, 2,000 years had passed and the events of the original games take place between Devil May Cry 3 when Virgil and Dante meet once more. Later on in Devil May Cry 1, when Dante again fights Mundus, or Big M, however you want to call him. No shame here, you can call him whatever you want. Once again, when Mundus tries to free himself and Dante's the one to put him away when mimicking his father's Sparda form inside of his own Devil Trigger. But what about Sparda? What else do we know about Sparda? Well, not much is known about this particular character because it gets kind of confused and convoluted with the DMC Devil May Cry storyline, but we'll try not to get stuck with that one, where Sparda was actually subjected to hell as an imprisonment for whatever purpose they wanted to do it for. In this version, Sparda was the one that had grown too powerful that he decided to also seal himself within the netherworld with the rest of the forces of hell. What we do know about Sparda's look specifically is in Devil May Cry 4, there's a costume for Dante that is supposed to represent the look of Sparda. In his human form, as the wiki reads, Sparda was a tall, handsome man with blue eyes and a youthful face and slicked back white hair. He is shown to have worn a purple Victorian outfit with a cravat, a large red jewel around his neck, and a monocle over his left eye. While riding into battle on horseback, he would wear armor reminiscent of his demon form. Yeah, we're talking OG fighting style. It's no wonder the likes of Fortuna still likes to stick with their swords and weapons and such, although it seems as if places such as, I don't know, Devil May Cry 5, Redgrave City, actually has guns and a proper military. Keep up with the times, Fortuna. Praising Sparda is not gonna help you, as the priest clearly showed in that game. Now, dusting off more of the ancient wiki, it reads, in his true form, Sparda was a slightly larger than human-sized, it's so specific. Vaguely insectoid demon with clawed hands, a scaly hide, and a pair of downward-facing ram horns. Similar to the likes of Devil May Cry 1. His more notable feature in his natural form was his slit-like eyes, which glow red and did not have pupils. He often shone wreathed in fire, although it is uncertain if he was simply impervious to it or if he summoned it. Honestly, I don't know why I read all of that if we literally have the Devil Trigger form and the other forms to look at, but I mean, as the ancient wiki foretold and read it off, now you know perfectly what Sparda looked like. But what was his personality like? Well, we once again open the dusty catacombs of the wiki page. It reads, although not much is known about him on his personal level, it is said that his personality combined both Dante's rebellion nature and Virgil's level-headedness. Legends speak fondly of his courageous, righteous, and his thankless missions to protect the human world at the expense of being labeled as a traitor by all of his kin. Sparda's wife, Eva, also described him as a noble fighter with courage and a righteous heart. Sparda understood honor and possessed great wisdom. Sparda had 2 apprentices, Baal and Modus, though he only entrusted his true strength and power to the kind-hearted Mundius, as opposed to his colder brother Ball. Not long before his rebellion, he swore an oath with his students to live true to their aspirations. Meteor told Dante how his father was better at dealing with ladies, as well as better at making excuses. Damn! Well, that explains all the prostitutes in Fortuna, Virgil! I was set under the impression that Sparda would be disappointed as Virgil, but I'm starting to think he'd be more proud. As Dante continued on to confront the demonic half of his brother, Urizen, Dante thought about the purpose of his sword rebellion in Yamato and on the power of revenge, remarking that his father was rather grim. In gameplay, we know a little bit more about Sparda as well. It's Dante. If you've ever played with his Devil Trigger form and played with the Devil Sword Sparda, that's Sparda. So anyways, going on to his biography.
Two millenniums ago, there was a war between the human world and the other, the underworld. But somebody from the underworld woke up to justice and stood up against the Legion alone. His name was Sparda. Later, he quietly reigned the human world and continued to preserve harmony until his death. He became a legend, the legendary Dark Knight, Sparda. Rated R in theaters Friday.
Ooh, sounds pretty cool. Prior to his rebellion, Sparda was the most powerful demon swordsman and the right-hand man of the Dark Emperor
Mondoz.
During this time, he was the mentor of the twin brothers Baal and Modus, and he entrusted his teachings to Modus. At some point, he saw the tyranny and the injustice of the Dark Emperor and rebelled, fighting to save humanity. Before his rebellion, he made a pact with his students to live true to their aspirations and to carry them out. He alone defeated the hellish host before moving on to the Emperor of Darkness himself. Sparda defeated
Mondoz,
sealing him into the Marble Vault, as we have seen in Devil May Cry 1. And what was left of Mundus' armies retreated back into the demon world. In order to close the gateway, Sparda used his own blood, along with the blood of the human priest, in conjunction with his sword and a mystical amulet. He poured his demonic energy into his beloved sword to close the door between realms, the Timina grew, though this also robbed him of the lion's share of his abilities. As an added measure, he also imprisoned within the tower its gatekeeper, Cerberus, Agni, Rudra, Nevan, Beowulf, and Leviathan, and took the names of the 7 sins in order to imprison them and set them as seals keeping the Timina grew underground. Basically Devil May Cry 3. Later he sealed another path to hell in Fortuna using the Yamato. Sparda's activities over the next 2,000 years are shrouded in legend, though it is understood that for a time after defeating Mundus, he benevolently ruled over the humans before eventually vanishing. The demon Burial implies that he encountered Sparda when he came to the human world 2 millenniums ago. At some point, Sparda once fought alongside the Protectors and Meteor, later crossing into the demon world and returned. During this time in Hell, Sparda fought against both Argisax and Balverk. You're not missing anything with Devil May Cry 2. Sparda later appeared in the 12th century, where he met and fell in love with a woman named Eva, who bore his 2 sons, Virgil and Dante. He would later disappear and eventually die at some point under unrevealed circumstances. So it is foretold by the legend himself, Sparda. Whatever. So what's the importance of Sparda and why we're even talking about him today? Well, I mean, he is the father to Dante and Virgil, as most of us already know just by playing the games. You don't really have to look that far deep, because they literally state it numerous times in the game that Sparda is the guy of the underworld and the father of the 2 peaks. But the lore itself, the fact that he died under unrevealed circumstances. Now, there are some major theories out there of what really killed him, but I mean, nothing is really confirmed what happened unless you look at DMC Devil May Cry, where he's just sealed away and not actually dead. But what killed him? And what's the likelihood of him still being alive? Actually greater than you might think. Considering the fact that Capcom is pretty good at pulling a really fast one on people, there's a pretty big chance that Sparda could return and he wasn't actually dead, but he was labeled as dead because they just kind of wanted to do that to cover the tracks in case they never answered that story. But it's unrevealed circumstances in case they ever want to bring him back for a certain case, a la Devil May Cry 6. Please. Now, I'm less worried about Sparda being in Devil May Cry 6 and more of what if he gets his own game? Because there's so much lore back there. This amazing horseman riding, two-handed sword-wielding mofo, slaying the demons of the netherworld and putting them back where they belong, but realizing he became too powerful and he had to seal himself away for the good of all the realms and the worlds alike, leaving his sons to be raised alone without the mother after she was slaughtered from the forces of hell, looking for the very man that sealed himself away with those same forces of hell. So what happened? It seems more like this dude would use the double sword Sparda better than Dante, considering the fact that it was his sword, especially Trish. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Trish. Lady Night DLC coming soon. Hashtag Lady5, make it happen, Capcom. But as for Devil Sword Sparda, imagine this dude wielding it better than anyone else because it's his own sword. His own sword. And using that as if one swipe vanishes thousands of enemies like Dynasty Warriors. Now granted, we don't really want that because we like the stylish combat of Devil May Cry, but just imagine the power of this guy. It's insane! Needless to say, a Sparda game should happen. And let me know what you guys think down below of the possibility of a Sparda game. I'm very excited to hear. If you guys want more videos like this or content at all, hit subscribe down below, boost my ego seeing bigger numbers, and the like videos, push videos like this out for other people to see. This video took a while to make. Help me out here. Help a friend out here, okay? Especially for content creators. If you guys want this sort of stuff, push your favorite content creators and bitch to Capcom about it on Twitter. They do listen to that. And Devil May Cry 6 is not even in the concept stages yet because other games are likely at the moment. So before they start working on the next Devil May Cry game, because I can guarantee you it's underway soon, let's make it be heard. We want a Sparda game. We've asked for it ever since a long time. So let's make it happen this time. With that being said, if you guys made it to this far in the video, leave a hashtag finish down below. And thank you all for watching a long time, not a hard time. Now see you guys. Hold on. Waiting for those last few people to hit subscribe. Okay, I'll see you guys next time.